uh, after he gave a speech. And so, first thing I want to state out is that why is there a religious chaplain in uh, in the House? Why are there quote unquote religious people doing prayers in the White House? And from so many sources, it sounds like he's got like Trump's White House like got like six or more, and it sounds like all of them are these televangelists. Uh, and if you didn't catch that, it's that was complete and utter sarcasm. So this quote unquote scandal with the firing of the chaplain, uh, I'm in agreement that all these all the people that are outraged over his firing after his speech about taking care of the poor and looking out for the least. I agree with that. I agree that that was that just shows the utter bankruptcy, and I call it criminality of these supposed uh, elected representatives. But I also have to remind that we are not supposed to be advocating in government a religion. So to have any sort of religious representation within our government, especially people who have the titles of ministers or rabbis or Muslim, which would never happen. Uh, that shouldn't be that shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be anybody who has legitimate titles for a religious sect, not in the halls of government. So this is theoretically supposed to be a secular nation, but uh, as I said, it's supposed to be a secular nation. That's so. Where's the secularism where you have a chaplain doing prayers before a session? I don't get it. Now to touch upon Trump's uh, gaggle of clowns, uh, these, as I said, it sounds like a lot of them are basically televangelists. And my view on televangelists is they are simply criminal con men and women that all they do is steal and rip off people. Now, I know for a fact that there's laws against that sort of thing, but it seems like, if you place a reverend or a minister or a chaplain, whatnot, in front of your name, it seems like, hey, uh, let's let it go. Now, I don't know where any of that makes sense. That just makes no sense to me. And as far as the Orthodox religious communities around the country, and those who do have titles before their names and do serve in a church and do not do television uh, or radio drives so that they can make money, um, and basically say, "Hey, give me your money, and uh, you'll you'll be guaranteed to go to heaven," and so on and so forth. Then that's I don't understand how it is that they've stayed so quiet, and I'm probably mistaken. I'm sure there has been uh, some uh, some outspoken uh, religious uh, titled religious person that has gone out there and said, "Look, this is immoral, and it is this is a uh, a fraud, and it's a wolf from sheep's clothing." All that other stuff. I'm sure there must be, but if there is, I haven't seen in all my years. I really haven't. I can't see or seem to remember any actual cases, documented cases of this where there's been uh, rabbis or, well, this being more of a Christian bent country, I haven't seen any Christian ministers or fathers or whatnot speaking out about this, saying, "Look, this is beyond the pale." So, uh, you know, uh, and I was just watching the Tom Hartman show, and there are two ministers, and they're talking uh, about the injustice of a man pointing out the injustice being perpetrated upon uh, over 100. I think they estimated over 140 million uh, people in the United States who are poor or below the poverty line, and that's a wonderful thing to point that out. But they don't seem to be touching on the fact that that a chaplain, a Christian chaplain, had done a speech before the house, and that they actually have a Christian chaplain. Now, it's probably on the part of bias, or it could be simply that thought never occurred to him. But right now, Christianity, certain sectors of Christianity in this country are acting exactly like they accuse uh, the Muslim uh, of being fundamentalists, radicals, terrorists, and unfortunately, it's like these Republicans and these other criminal politicians. They're not Christian. They demonstrate no Christian value. And when I talk about Christian values, I'm not talking about the um, fire and brimstone and kill the gays and stone the unfaithful woman, and that's not those that sort of vengeance nonsense and all the other contradictory stuff that's basically destroys all the wonderful and beautiful aspects of the Christian Bible. Uh, you know, that's I don't know. I think it's just ridiculous that we have a sector that's of Christianity that's truly misbehaving. Well, not misbehaving really. They're being virulently and rapidly uh, horrible. Uh, and I would like to hear the our religious leaders speaking out the about this, about the hypocrisy, and uh, about the more detestable aspects that these Christians are accusing others of, and oftentimes they pick and choose stuff to back up the vile rhetoric that they are preaching. And you got these faux religious Christians, and they're uh, in political office, and they're basically pandering to the to it, and exacerbating the insanity. So, uh, and as a respectable religious leader, we should you should be out there saying, "Hey, no, 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 this doesn't cut it. This sort of thing doesn't um, isn't tolerable." So, I think that's the most important things for religious leaders to be talking about, because it seems like every religious leader is doing the playing politics, and they have a right to have an event. You have your right to have your views, and it seems like um, many of them uh, who are not these faux uh, Christian religious leaders uh, are speaking out about injustice, so on and so forth. But I want to hear from the religious leadership saying, "Look, uh, this is not Christianity. Uh, this is not Christian values, and this is uh, this is uh, this is just wrong." And there are some who are speaking out, but I would like to see more. I would like to see a lot more. Thank you for your time.